Hey guys, I'm Think So Joe, and welcome to Things You Might Not Know. Today, we're going to discuss my birthday. Kinda. November 13. That's a date that my friends and colleagues will tell you that I am quite fond of, as it is indeed my birthday. I share this date of birth with famous people such as Whoopi Goldberg, Jimmy Kimmel, basketball star Metta World Peace, and Scottish novelist Robert Louis Stevenson. Actually, I'm not even sure if we can count the latter. See, the Treasure Island author was born on November 13 way back in 1850. However, Stevenson had legally given away his birthday in 1891. Wait, what? No, I didn't misspeak. Stevenson, hoping that the warm tropical air would aid in his health, moved to Samoa in 1890 and befriended the Presidential Commissioner to Samoa, Henry Ide, when Ide was given that title in 1891. Ide's 14-year-old daughter Annie had been born on Christmas, a birthday that she very much disliked, as she would witness her friends being able to celebrate both a birthday and Christmas, whereas she had just a single day. Henry Ide mentioned this in passing to Stevenson, who took great pity upon the girl's plight. Stevenson, having celebrated 40 birthdays himself to this point, devised a solution to Annie's issue. He gifted her his birthday. On June 19, 1891, Stevenson wrote the following legal document.
I, Robert Louis Stevenson, advocate of the Scots Bar, author of the Master of Ballantrae and Moral Emblems, Stuck Civil Engineer, sole owner and patentee of the palace and plantation known as Valima in the island of Upolu, Samoa, a British subject, being in sound mind and pretty, well I thank you, in body. In consideration that Miss A.H. Ide, daughter of H.C. Ide, in the town of St. Johnsbury, in the county of Caledonia, in the state of Vermont, United States, America, was born, out of all reason, upon Christmas Day, and is therefore, out of all justice, denied the consolation and profit of a proper birthday. And considering that I, the said Robert Louis Stevenson, have attained an age when, oh, we never mention it, and that I have now no further use for a birthday of any description, and in consideration that I have met H.C. Ide, the father of the said A.H. Ide, and found him about as white a land commissioner as I require, have transferred and do hereby transfer to the said A.H. Ide all in whole of my rights and privileges in the 13th day of November, formerly my birthday, now, hereby and henceforth, the birthday of the said A.H. Ide, to have, hold, exercise, and enjoy in the same customary manner, by the sporting of fine raiment, eating of rich meats, and receipt of gifts, compliments, and copies of verse, according to the manner of our ancestors. And I direct the said A.H. Ide to add to her said name of A.H. Ide the name Louisa, at least in private, and I charge her to use my said birthday with moderation and humanity, et tamquam bona fila familiae, the said birthday not being so young as it once was, and having carried me in a very satisfactory manner since I can remember. And in case the said A.H. Ide shall neglect or contravene either of the above conditions, I hereby revoke the donation and transfer of my rights in the said birthday to the President of the United States of America for the time being. In witness whereof I have hereto set my hand and seal this 19th day of June in the year of grace 1891.
The authoring of the document was witnessed by Stevenson's stepson Lloyd Osborne and Harold Watts, then signed, sealed, and sent to Henry Ide. By virtue of Stevenson's letter, Annie Hilliard Ide changed her name to Annie Louisa Ide and her birthday to November 13. When she celebrated her birthday on November 13, 1891, she held a party where everyone brought gifts, played games, and had cake, which had a single candle upon it, as it was, essentially, her first birthday. Shortly thereafter, Annie wrote a letter to Stevenson.
Dear Mr. Stevenson, you may be interested to know that the will whereby you left your birthday to me was published in several of the most widely circulated papers in the United States, and that I received letters from people in different parts of the country containing birthday greetings. On November 13, I had my first real birthday celebration and dinner, with sporting of fine raiment, eating of rich meats, and receipt of gifts, compliments, and copies of verse, according to the manner of our ancestors, as the will most satisfactorily provides. The conditions of the legacy have all been complied with. My old name was as unsatisfactory as my birthday, and I am now Anna Louisa, so that my new birthday cannot revert to the President of the United States, if I treat it kindly, as I expect to do. I am wondering, however, what you will do without a birthday. As the years roll by, you can grow no older, and perhaps will thus become immortal in body as well as renown. When I have celebrated 70 or 80 November 13s, I shall now be able to know you as a comparatively young man, still drinking at the fountain of perpetual youth and delighting the world with the products of a mind undimmed by age. How wonderful a discovery that will be! But if I have 2 birthdays every year, I shall grow at a terrible rate. The years will rush past me like an express train, and I shall soon be old enough to be my own grandmother, or perhaps I shall have a double development like Dr. Jekyll, one for each birthday, so that in one phase I shall be twice as old as in the other. The possibilities are astonishing. You will see from the photograph which I sent that I am already much older than my sister. How much older still I shall be in a few years. I send also a pen and ink sketch which I have made of the church which I attend, and which stands beside my home. It may remind you that your old faithful birthday is still comfortably housed, at least on Sundays. Papa wishes to be kindly remembered to yourself and family, whose acquaintance he enjoyed exceedingly. Thanking you once more for the gift which I greatly prize, I am, sincerely yours, Annie Louisa Ide. P.S. Will you be good enough to say to Mr. Strong that I was very much pleased with the Samoan sketch?
The Samoan sketch in question in the postscript likely referred to a watercolor painting depicting 2 Samoan natives standing on a beach waving to an incoming mail steamer, created by artist Joe Strong, that was sent along with the legal document by Stevenson, who penned the following reply letter in November 1891.
My dear Louisa, your picture of the church, the photograph of yourself and your sister, and your very witty and pleasing letter came all in a bundle and made me feel I had my money's worth for that birthday. I am now, I must be, one of your nearest relatives. Exactly what we are to each other I do not know. I doubt if the case has ever happened before. Your papa ought to know, and I don't believe he does, but I think I ought to call you in the meanwhile, and until we get the advice of counsel learned in the law, my name daughter. Well, I was extremely pleased to see by the church that my name daughter could draw, by the letter that she was no fool, and by the photograph that she was a very pretty girl, which hurts nothing. See how virtues are rewarded. My first idea of adopting you was entirely charitable, and here I find that I am quite proud of it, and of you, and that I chose just the kind of name daughter I wanted. For I can draw too, or rather I mean to say I could before I forgot how, and I am very far from being a fool myself, perhaps much I may look it, and I am as beautiful as the day, or at least I once hoped that I perhaps might be going to be, and so I might. So that you see we are well met, and peers on these important points. I am very glad also that you are older than your sister. So should I have been if I had had one. So that the surprising number of points and virtues which you have inherited from your name-father is already quite surprising. I wish that you would tell your father, not that I like to encourage my rival, that we had a wonderful time here of late, and that we are having a cold day on Mulinu, and the consuls are writing reports, and I am writing to the Times, and if we don't get rid of our friends this time, I shall begin to despair of everything but my name daughter. You are quite wrong as to the effect of the birthday on your age. From the moment the deed was registered, as it was in the public press with every solemnity, the 13th of November became your own and only birthday, and you ceased to have been born on Christmas Day. Ask your father, I'm sure he will tell you this is sound law. You are thus become a month and 12 days younger than you were, but you will go on growing older for the future in the regular and human manner from one November 13 to the next. The effect on me is more doubtful. I may, as you suggest, live forever. I might, on the other hand, come to pieces like the one-horse shay at a moment's notice. Doubtless the step was risky, but I do not the least regret that which enables me to sign myself your reverend and delighted name-father.
Stevenson would throw Ide a birthday party every year until he passed in December of 1894. Ide traveled the world, but every year on November 13 would throw a very large party wherever she was. Annie passed away in New York on January 7, 1945, at the age of 68. So, did you know about Robert Louis Stevenson gifting a young woman his date of birth? Don't forget to leave a comment below with your thoughts on this subject or with suggestions for upcoming topics. If you like this episode, please feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one, click the bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and as always, thanks for watching.